Genetically modified food has become custom to our country without many consumers realizing the variety of foods that contain GM ingredients. Genetically modified food refers to crop plants that have been modified in laboratories to enhance desired traits very rapidly and with great accuracy using the latest molecular biology technology. The U.S. is the largest producer of genetically modified crops. Studies show that 60 to 70% of processed foods on U.S. grocery shelves contain GM ingredients. Genetically modified foods started to shine light in the 1980s when it was discovered that specific pieces of DNA could be transferred from one organism to another. Genetic modification developed even further in 2000 when scientists discovered that the modification process could be used to add nutrients and vitamins to enrich foods. GM foods can be unethical for consumers because many of the foods sold today contain mostly GM ingredients and not enough of organic ingredients. Putting these foods on the market may affect consumers to ignore the health and environmental benefits in true organic products.
The FDA currently approves genetically modified plants and meats in the United States, although they have different regulations for both. They do many safety tests with the foods and compare the nutrients, proteins, vitamins, and fats with traditionally grown food. They do not approve anything that is harmful for people to consume. One of the greatest benefits of genetically modified foods is that it allows faster and more successful production. This allows farmers and other makers of food able to produce more in a short amount of time, so they can keep up with the great supply and demand of the United States.
Since the beginning of breeding, foods, plants, and animals have been modified to produce specific traits. Every year, more fields are being used to produce genetically modified foods. However, people have begun to question modern methods used to achieve this. Besides the fact that they can harm the environment, introduce new pesticides, and create new allergens harmful to humans, many people aim to eat organic foods, which GM foods cannot produce. There is also a lack of extensive data proving that genetically modified foods are 100% safe, and without that reassurance, people will continue to question modern methods used for GM foods.
Genetically modified foods have always been questioned as to whether or not they meet ethical standards. The manipulation of genes and engineering challenge has been a significant topic of debate among environmentalists, scientists, and policymakers. The carrot is exaggerated to being a negative outcome on the society. The scientists, although alarmed, may still stick with their thought it's perfectly safe. Realistically, though, scientists could have the knowledge that there is a negative outcome that no one knows about, and they do not do anything about it because of success and money, which is ethically wrong. About 75% of processed food that is produced in the United States contains some genetically modified ingredients, stated by the Markula Center for Applied Ethics. Almost everything that contains soy or corn has been genetically modified. Because genetically modified foods having both positive and negative effects, and so much food being produced being genetically modified, conclusions revolving around its ethics leave it in a gray area and it is not black and white as to whether it meets ethical standards. Prejudice and bias from people of different backgrounds and beliefs, whether it is economic, religious, environmentalist, or any other viewpoints, will always have different opinions on genetically modified foods.